Recording in progress. Here we are. We are live. Thanks for everyone to joining us today on this beautiful Friday. It is Cinco de Mayo. So if you are live out there in our group and you're worried about hiding the fact that you've got a margarita, don't have to hide that. Bring your margarita on. Join us. We might even start encouraging that on Fridays. Just grab your margarita, sit down with us. You know, it's never too early for a nice drink after a long work week. So, but with that being said, we have a very amazing guest. Very excited to have him on. Someone that I've had the pleasure of working with for probably a good 3 years now. It seems like it's been a while.
That's right.
But
yeah.
Been great to watch their whole entire just umbrella just spread far and wide with the amount of software and the amount of programs and the amount of, I guess you could say, overall opportunities that they provide their clients and this syndicating world that we are forever developing into. So without any further ado, here we've got the wonderful TJ. TJ, feel free to give a further background of yourself if you'd like, but I just like to be the first to say thank you for coming on our show today, and I'm excited to hear what you have to share.
Absolutely. Thanks so much, Wesley, and appreciate you as well, Sarah. I'm excited to be here. I need to thank you as well. The first time I connected with Wes, I just saw the passion in his desire to give back to the community of military men and women. And so when you asked me to join this, I was absolutely thrilled. My brother is in the Army National Guard. He was in Poland for a whole year, and stationed during that time where Russia invaded Ukraine, and we were just reinforcing our allies. And so he's back, and I am from the Republic of the Marshall Islands. We have a really strong history and background with the U.S. I am not a U.S. citizen, but I consider myself a huge patriot. Love this country, and so does my people, and we're just very grateful to live in this amazing land. So typically I'm a tech guy. I'm typically in a shirt, working from home, but just to show how much I respect everyone here, I put on the shirt, the collar. So excited to talk, add value, and contribute to this community. So thanks again, Wes and Sarah.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, I had to go run because I had my workout attire on, and I was like, "Oh wait, we're going live. Oh man, they're gonna see me. Oh, I got to look presentable." I call it the mullet of business, where you wear that collar shirt on top and then your pajamas on the bottom.
Yeah, so, business at top, party in the bottom. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Well, everyone's starting to pile on here now. I think we got a good, decent crowd. We'll keep adding people as they join. But TJ, how about you kick us off and tell us a little bit about who you are and what you do, what you work with, and just kind of, if you've got anything to share, feel free to share screen and we can just run us through that. I can speak from everybody here. I am a user of all things Sponsor Cloud, that's Syndication Pro. TJ, how about you? I mean, y'all have expanded so much. How about you just start right there and just everything that's under the wonderful umbrella of Sponsor Cloud now?
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Wes. So I'm one of the founders of a company called Sponsor Cloud. We may have some customers here that have joined us, but essentially we're a technology company that offers solutions to help syndicators and fund managers run their business. Our flagship product, Wes mentioned, is called Syndication Pro, and it's a portal provided to GPs as well as LPs so that we can streamline that entire capital raising process, facilitate things like distributions. We have CRM component to help manage your investors. And so the idea is for us to create technology that helps capital raisers raise more capital in less time. And so my background is I'm a syndicator myself. My partner and I were managing partners for a firm called Holdfolio. We primarily do fund of funds. In the past, we actually owned and managed our assets and properties across the Midwest. However, since we've focused and dedicated ourselves to, focusing on the technology and the software side, we realized, we can't be doing both. So In the last 3 years, great timing. We sold every property that we own in the Midwest, and we've now are now doing fund of funds. And for those who are not familiar with that is, we basically cut checks to lead sponsors like yourselves, folks who are focusing on deals. You can reach out to the Holdfolio team, share a deal. We do have really strict criterias on who we partner and what kind of deals that we do. And I'm happy to talk to anyone who's interested in kind of connecting with me and my team about that. But last year we wrote about 16 checks. Each check is between $1 to $2 million on the Holdfolio side. And so we're quite aggressive even this year. Obviously, we're really laser focused on making sure the deals are strong and things like that. But that's what we do on that side. And how this translates or relates to the software side is when we transitioned to focusing on software, it was actually based on problems that we had ourselves, right? Like, how do we streamline capital raising? How do we consolidate that experience for those LPs to have just a one-stop shop to come do due diligence, submit their documents, see the reporting of their deals, and place investments as well. So we decided to partner with one of our other co-founders and develop the software, which is Syndication Pro. Since then, in the last couple of years, we've actually started expanding our offerings to now include fund admin services, as well as subscription documents. We have a legal arm. So the idea is, historically, all of these services that we use as syndicators and fund managers, it's actually all fragmented and separated, right? Where we wanted everything to be integrated from a service and technology standpoint. So we just had a couple of folks sign up for the fund admin service and the legal documents along with our platform. And the cool feedback was, man, in the past, I would talk to my attorney and they say, oh, this is a CPA question. You got to talk to your, CPA accountant. And then vice versa, when they're trying to structure things within their operating agreement or PPM, it's like, oh, you got to make sure that, let's connect with your, your attorney to make sure that this is inputted right. So the feedback was, it's so amazing that I have an entire account team that's able to consult with me, and they all use the platform to facilitate some of these functions and the workflows that they work with me on. So if you were to kind of just, understand what I do, I am your strategic partner at Sponsor Cloud, because we know your job and we want to take a lot of the back office work out in an affordable, cost-effective way. But our mission, in one sentence, is really to help deal sponsors adopt digital transformation and also to move our industry forward. So let me give you one example. When we launched a feature called, automated ACH distributions, in the past, a lot of us, just within the last 5 years, we were sending manual checks and wires, right? Well, in our platform, a couple years ago, when we allowed folks to calculate all the investments, whether it was per funded or percentage funded or percentage owned, you're able to do that within the system and then do distributions within the system as well. That was actually a breakthrough innovation in our space.
I remember.
And
I remember. Yes,
yep,
it was.
And here's the thing, it's a good thing, but it's also a bad thing because it shows how behind this vertical is in terms of technology and innovation. And so we are doing a lot of really, really incredible things that truly should have been done and automated a long time ago. Let me just give you another example. How many of us have taken investments from IRA investors? I mean, how complicated, manual has that been for forever? Well, we are working with one of the largest custodians to streamline this process by building what's called an API integration. Our systems are essentially just going to connect. And in the near future, those IRA investors are going to be able to fund way quicker because everything will be streamlined. But you think about it, we have all had this problem. It's just it has never been really addressed in our industry. So the best type of features that we release are the ones that people come to me and say, they literally call me and say, TJ, can you put this feature on? And then we'll consider it with our product team and we go, wow, that's actually phenomenal. It'll help the community.
Yeah.
Let's make it happen.
I
So
can
that,
say that I want to chime in right there, TJ, and say that that's probably one of the biggest reasons that I kept my business. And even when some other sponsorship teams would try to pull me over to like Invest Next or Cash Flow or Jennifer Square, any of the others, right? I would always come back and be like, it's just, it's not the amount of feedback. It was syndicators building for syndicators. And that's what I
that's
loved
right.
about it. And whenever from, like I said, I've been working with y'all since my very beginning. I think within my first year, meeting with Jacob and you, and saying, the biggest thing was the co-sponsor stuff. I was like, we've got to do something to make it easier to work with other co-sponsors, with other teams. When y'all launched that was such a pinnacle, like, power move right there. And because you were right, the software supporting syndicators is way behind. And I think y'all have done a great job of helping catch that up. And, there's another partner that I introduced you with, Brandon Wong. He was actually on here last month with the Smart Syndicator. And I think y'all are doing some behind the scenes negotiations of trying to figure out how to integrate those two. But no, I will say that y'all do a great job of listening to your clients. And it's not just okay, whatever. Yeah. One day maybe. But I mean, it's we're working on it. Yeah. Oh, and we're working on this and this on top of that. So I will definitely say hats off. 100% will say y'all build this stuff for our needs, not just what you think. You're not a software company. You're syndicators that partner with software engineers to build this tool. And I think that's the best way of describing what y'all been able to do, and why I feel like, honestly, hands down, I've told groups, you want to partner with me, you're going to use Syndication Pro. And Peyton's my partner, and one of them, and he's nodding his head yes right now. He's heard me say that on several meetings. No, you use InvestNext? Sorry, you'll hate InvestNext after you give Syndication Pro a try. Okay, so anyway, I just want to chime in and add that.
That's awesome. Yeah, thank you for sharing that, and just so excited to be exposed to more folks who may be interested in learning about, okay, how do I set up my my business properly, or how can we scale through some of these things that you're talking about, like co-sponsoring. I'll just kind of really focus on that right now. Co-sponsoring has been a big trend in the last years, and we see it becoming even more so this year and beyond. It's a very competitive market, right? And there's a lot of things happening. And so one way that folks have been strategically growing their portfolio and their business is by, maybe here in Utah, we don't have the very best deals. And so folks are reaching out to Wesley and other strategic partners and other geos. And they're saying, hey, let's develop a relationship together and, try to find deal flow and even work together on the capital market side. And this is happening right now. And so one really cool example is there's these three brothers, and they're not even from this country. They're called the Donis brothers. They operate Donis Investments, and
aren't they operating out of Atlanta?
No, North Carolina.
They're based there. They're near me, Raleigh.
They were working on a deal in Atlanta. That's what it was. I've actually met them.
That's right.
They were working through the Think Multifamily team.
That's right. Yep.
I've met them. They're great group of guys.
Oh, amazing. But this kind of story will share with you and highlight how we actually work with folks who are just getting started. So when the Donis brothers came to me, when I found out they were 19 years old, I told my team, my sales team, let me hop on that call. I have to talk to these gentlemen. So I hopped on the call, and I was, sure enough, young bucks. I said, man, I was not doing this when I was 19 years old. I'll tell you what. So I said, okay, tell me your story. They said, we've been flipping for a couple of years now. Wow, amazing. And now we're looking to get into syndication. and try to take down our first apartment deal this year. So what I'd advise them to do is I said, hey, listen, if I were you, I would highly recommend partnering with other people. And you have your value, maybe it's acquisition or maybe it's capital or both. But the hardest thing is for you all to really try to leverage your current track record and other things. And there's a lot of things you need to know. And so I would highly recommend investing in a network where you could find folks to do deals with and find opportunities there. And those young men, they executed, they did it. So they joined Think Multifamily, and since then they were able to find 3 deals that they were able to acquire. And that was just such a cool thing. But the main point is it's the co-GP model that has been this fantastic and powerful tool for folks who are just getting started. And whether you're doing it with Wes, which is an incredible partner, or others, that's something that we have really invested as a company to help facilitate within the industry. And the way that we've done that is, number one, we've offer a co-GP model. So if you're a subscriber to Syndication Pro, our platform, you can actually send out free instances or portals to others that you're looking to work with. And people tell us all the time, man, you're giving away free portals. And we say, no, it really is to help grow these folks who are trying to scale their business in this competitive market. And eventually those who are coming on as co-GPs, they'll look at our platform, and after they get exposure, it actually turns out into they could potentially become customers. So anyways, another way that we are investing in the co-GP model and making sure that those who we work with are successful is we have what's called the sponsor network. And it's the most active, or it's a contained social platform of just GPs, active GPs. So what you can do in the platform is you can actually pitch a deal. And we had a gentleman, his name is Michael Holman, pitch a deal. And there was a lot of interest in this deal because of how he structured it and how he presented it. So he was able to get $4 million off of that, off of the sponsor network pitch. And then the other thing is we realize that, you're not just going to partner with folks through digital mediums like social media. You got to meet with them face to face. And so each quarter, we actually have a quarterly in-person event that's free to our customers, that they'll come together, and all these people that they've been following and connecting with on the social side of Sponsor Network, they can also do the same in person. And we provide events, amazing educational content. And the whole purpose is for folks to just grow their business. So that's how we kind of measure our successes. Are people growing their businesses, and are we cutting costs and helping them scale? And so just wanted to highlight that in case anyone is curious or interested. We had Wesley actually present at our Dallas event and did an incredible job. But yeah, so just wanted to highlight that co-GP is huge. I would highly recommend it. If you have any questions about it, feel free to reach out of our team. We don't just sell portals, but we help people understand how the best practices are being used in this market. So anyways, I'm blabbering, Wes. Just wanted to kind of highlight that.
It's a good overview. So for everyone that was paying and following along, you don't just have sponsors or Syndication Pro, which is a great investment portal, and in my opinion, the best out there, that has the co-sponsoring features, that has the direct. And for those that have never asset managed yet, what he's talking about is when you're doing distributions out. So it's time for you to give a distribution. Instead of you having to go through there and calculate what every investor's share owns and how much is technically of that distribution is entitled to them, it does all that math for you, does all the wiring for you, whether they are asking to be receiving a check or receiving a direct wire. The portal will calculate all of that for you. I've used that feature on 3 of our deals now, on my multifamily deal, and we'll continue doing that. But the admin stuff, okay, and the sponsor docs are 2 separate things outside of the portal that I'm not going to lie. I love my attorney, and there's not a lot of people out there that'll say that. But even loving my attorney, he's still slow. Okay, that's what most attorneys there are known for, right? Well, it takes me 3 days just to get a reply. By that time that my attorney replied to me, love him to death, still going to use him for my entities and Blue Sky and all of that. TJ's team had already gotten me my sponsor docs. All
2
my
days.
PMs, operating agreement, my subscription and docs, and they were uploaded into my portal already, ready to go for investors. 48 hours is what it took. So I'm going to say that I've used it twice now. I'm getting ready to use it again. I will continue to use sponsor docs. It's too easy not to. I've read those PPMs for private placement memorandums. I've read the subscription agreements, the investor questionnaires, all of those are included in that. The operating agreements, everything meets and exceeds, in my opinion, the SEC compliances. Whether you're doing a 506B or a 506C, they will state that they are secured in everything that they're doing there. So I really do say the amount of growth there. I'm just now recently off the phone with Oz. Love Oz. Got off the phone with Oz, and he kind of let me know about the new thing of the admin, which is where y'all kind of help manage the finance side, where you were just talking about the accounting and the attorney, the SEC, kind of like, well, you need a subject matter from both. I think it's a great opportunity that y'all have both of those arms now supporting where it all comes together, which is through the portal anyway. So we'll be looking at that and seeing if that's something that we're going to be able to add to our stuff as well. So, we always want to find ways to giving the investors a better experience. I mean, because that's what it's really all about. We've got to do our job to the T. Having the right tools and the right vendors supporting us is what makes us give that best experience to our investors. What's gonna keep an investor coming back? A good experience and good returns. So the good returns are on us. The good experience, Syndication Pro and the Sponsor Cloud umbrella definitely help us in a lot of ways. So I know there's a lot of other active sponsors on here. And I'm curious. I think, Sean, you use Syndication Pro as well, not to call you out, but I believe you use it as well.
Actually, I'm a cash flow portal guy.
Oh, no, we're going to have to win him over, TJ. We're going to win him over, right?
Yeah.
Well, it's going to be hard because I'm also invested in the company.
Yeah, well, that's all right. TJ, can he invest in your company too?
In the next round, yeah. That's one thing.
I have used Syndication Pro as a passive investor.
Okay, love it. Good.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for joining, Sean, and happy to discuss. So the biggest thing, with regards to funding is it's interesting with our, I talked about some of the product features and what our vision is, and I believe we're the only self-funded company, and have had a lot of offers on the VC side, but the focus for us is to control the innovation and the product roadmap, and so you lose that when you're pressured to execute on growth initiatives and things like that. So for us, we see ourselves as a long-term partner and someone who's going to be able to do that. And we're syndicators ourselves. And so, we understand intimately the jobs to be done. This is not directed to you, Sean. It's just mostly
no. And I agree with everything you're saying. It makes perfect sense. And that's why Perry, when he started Cashflow Portal, he actually used Cashflow Portal to raise money for Cashflow Portal, which I thought was kind of cool, because now you've got some passive investors. He's got a passive investor base. Now he did go through the Y Combinator and get some VC funding that way, but he's still very much in control, and along with his passive investors, because he maintains a majority ownership that way.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah. Now that you mentioned it, Perry, I think they used our terms of service at one point. It's really
he may have
and a lot of other things as well that they've implemented. So it's good that there's multiple solutions out there. I always tell folks, regardless of whether it's Syndication Pro, InvestNext, or Cashflow Portal. Obviously, I'm biased as far as my solution goes. However, in this day and age, it is so important for folks to just have a portal. So
Yes.
I would say just choose a portal, right? And the reason why is because we with all of these platforms coming online, there's no excuse, because in the past it was very, very expensive, but now we have it more accessible. So
well, and I agree. I mean, I would never tell somebody, hey, just use Cashflow Portal because I use it. I take the same approach with mentors. I have a coach and mentor I happen to like because he's done really well by following what he's been teaching me. But I always tell people, I said, go out and try several mentors, because they all have, the good ones have some free or inexpensive training material available, just like portals. Go out there and try them out and find out what works for you.
Yes, absolutely. That's awesome. Yeah, and I would recommend the same. So there's a couple of things that you mentioned on the sponsor admin side. We offer, as we mentioned, a host of products that are integrated together. And so the real reason and value add that I can share with folks on this call and who are tuning in is we are true strategic technology partners for your business to grow. We're able to come in and help with best practices. For example, taking soft reservations. There's a lot of really large firms that are managing hundreds of millions of dollars. And even to this day, the feedback has been, when we're doing a capital raise for a live offering, it's still kind of a guessing game on who's looking to invest. And so our team, we have backed by data what it takes for you to have a more successful raise. For example, you should be taking soft reservations. Maybe if your capital goal is to raise $1 million for simple numbers sake, our suggestion is for you to actually raise, oversubscribe maybe 1.5x that capital on the reservation. Okay. And so this is backed by data. We've seen that from our portal that folks who have a larger soft reservation pool will have a stronger raise. And it actually, you can utilize that in your messaging to build momentum. And the whole entire goal when you're raising capital is to raise as quickly as possible so that you can continue to build momentum. It creates this FOMO effect for your investors, right? And so our team is able to share tips and tricks like, hey, some best practices, you should have a video. And this is the reason why. It'll help you, create that momentum and build more rapport with your folks. And the soft reservation piece, you'd be so surprised at how many people don't actually utilize that in their process. So I would say whatever platform you use, it should be ahead of the race, probably no later than when you make a public announcement about the deal. Yes, that's actually true. My question, so that's Peyton, you asked that question. At what point should I involve Syndication Pro when closing the deal? So what we recommend, it really depends on where you're at in your offering. If you're very close to a PSA, obviously you want to make sure that you have your investors lockstep into your portal. You've onboarded them. They've created their documents. And the thing that I mentioned is that soft reservation piece, right? So you want to get them into the soft reservation, and our team will actually share with you on how to do this successfully. Hey, this is how you should do the soft reservation. You want to get people either on the phone, and you yourself could take soft reservations, or when people are funneling into your soft reservation. So let me just clarify what a soft this is everyone familiar with that soft reservation, folks? Some folks are utilizing like Google Forms to gauge who's interested in a future deal. You can actually launch a soft reservation offering on our portal, and a lot of folks will actually title this our next multifamily deal or whatever title. And the idea is you want to build rapport and educate your future investors on who your firm is, your thesis, how you're looking to add value. And there's really a lot of best practices that I would recommend, like adding a video showcasing your firm and who your part. And that way, because maybe someone who's in your network will come into your portal and then they'll tell their friends and family, hey, I'm looking to invest with Peyton here. Those friends and family will sign up, get into your portal. And so there's best practices in terms of workflows on how to get them to actually place the soft reservation. So when my partners and I are raising in between deals, we're always raising soft reservations, always. And then once the live offering comes, we are utilizing that pipeline of soft reservation capital or non-binding commitments, and we're funneling them down to our trying to make them invest in an offering. So,
Hey, TJ,
yep.
Yeah, quick question for you.
Yeah.
Since you say you're always running that soft reservation, some people may refer to it as soft commits.
That's right.
If you don't actually have a deal lined up and under contract, what do you put out there as, or is your buy box so tight that you're always buying properties that are like 200 units plus or minus a few, B class, 1985 and newer, et cetera? How do you spin that to your investors as our next deal? Because the next deal could be something completely different if you're just looking at things that are good deals that pencil out with cash flow, et cetera.
Yeah. So I'll address that question. So for us, we have a big focus because we have a big focus on the digital marketing side. So our team, we have a good flow of inbound folks signing up to our portal. That's a whole nother discussion on how to attract people into your business. But in your current investor base, there's certain ways that we do it. Once we close an offering, and with our fund of funds business, we are typically raising millions in like an hour, right? So people see that and they go, oh man, I want to get the next deal. So whenever we close an offering, we always let them know, hey, for those who missed or for those who are interested in the next one, please soft reserve so you get priority access to the documents on the future deal. That's step number one. Step number two is when we're about to, step number two is after we close a offering, we'll immediately create another, not to do this 9 to 5. Love it. Another thing is after we close a offering, we'll create another soft reservation offering every time. And whether we're talking to new people, let's just say there's someone who found our website through referral and we're talking to them, the whole purpose of that call is to end with them giving me a soft reservation, non-binding commitment on a dollar amount and the likelihood of them investing based on their criteria. It's not ours. And so so I'll take those. And so the conversation will always end with, hey, Sean, it's been really great to chat with you. It looks like you're $100,000 liquid. You're looking to get exposure to real estate and diversify from your traditional investments. These are your goals, just reiterate. Awesome. I think we're going to be a really good fit, Sean. We don't have a deal right now, but we should have one in the next 30 to 60 days. And so what we like to do is just take a non-binding soft commitment so that we send priority emails so you're notified. And it's a first come, first serve basis. And so we just want you to make sure that you're aware and have the best opportunity to invest with us. Can I pencil you down for 50 grand for the next deal? Good. Put it. So those are just a couple of options.
Yeah, no, I like that. And then I would say, kind of Sean, if you're doing a wide range of that, you can always just label the offering in the portal, our next deal, and then discuss, once you actually see people come in and say, hey, I do want, something, you can put them in that if it is the right fit. When you are getting grainier, I can see that strategy even working even better. Like we've got a set of target returns and we're going quarterly. hey, we're doing this land development, the start of this time frame. These will be our target returns. This will be our target hold time. And you can say target or projected, and then just kind of like TJ was saying, put some information in there until you know where it's going to be and what it's going to be. You can always fill in what you already know, which is, the team. Your strengths. You can advertise that in your summary, but then you can still get some reserves building up and this works great. I like this, TJ. I'm gonna steal that. I'm gonna do that because the last time I just finished my last raise and to close on in April, I got like 3 people that came in the day of. Like I just took my last wire, we closed. I mean, it was down to the wire on that one. We closed. I had 3 more people that wanted to come in that I'm like, I don't have anything for you. Well, sometimes just saying that without saying, but I can, get you in. Let me get you in the portal. You'll see the next deal. Go ahead and make your reservation there. And then all you got to do is change that from our next deal to the name of the deal, put the rest of the stuff. They're already committed into that. But that way they feel like they're locked in with you and you can already be building up for that next race so that they don't feel like they got to go and look somewhere else. So I like the psychological approach to that with that investor, because the hardest part is getting them to say yes to you for that first time. So once they finally come around, it may be late, but if you're like, hey, look, I've already closed this one out. I've got the next one. I'm going to put it up. You know what? I'm going to put it up in the portal right now so that you can have access to it today. I'm only going to, only a few of y'all, a handful of y'all are going to have access to this early. Go ahead in there. Get ready for it, make your reservations. I'll open that up. And then that way. So I love that approach to where that whole, it used to be always be closing. Now it's always be raising, right? Always be raising.
Yeah.
And I really like how you can do that, especially when you've got an idea. I mean, Sean, I know the struggle right now in multifamily, which is, you're looking this market to that market to try to find, the best deal.
Well, but anything that classifies as a deal,
Exactly. So
that's right. That's right.
I've looked at a lot, haven't found many.
Yeah.
Well, I got something. I'll talk to you today after this call, Sean. I got something that might be right up your alley of a quick hold time and a quick raise and a good return. So we'll talk after this.
Maybe
I can. So you know how to get a hold of me.
Sorry. So one of the things that from, being on the backside of the office and kind of doing some of the admin work, one of the things that we've kind of been learning as we're starting this capital raise journey is that they really like to be treated like VIPs. And so instead of using, hey, I can't take your money, but make me a soft reservation, just change up the language just a smidgen. Hey, if you want to be one of our first people that gets this information, by signing up to that soft commit, that puts you in our VIP list. And so you are the first person that's going to get a message when we have a new offering out. Now we'll send that out to everybody else, but that is our first list. And we want to make sure that you're on it so we can prioritize you. They like feeling important.
I agree 100%, Sarah. I know and one of the things I do that I don't think most other syndicators do is for example, when we closed on Treetop last December, it was supposed to have closed in October. So most everybody had wired their money in. And I had one of my investors call me and said, hey, I find myself with 200K I need to place by the end of the year. Do you have another deal coming up? And I had to tell him, I said, well, no, I don't, but I'm happy to introduce you to a friend of mine that my wife and I invest with personally, and we trust them. I said, would you like me to make that introduction? And they go, you do that? They were almost shocked. I'm going, yeah. I said, contrary to the language that most of us use, you are not my investor. You happen to be an investor that you happen to like the deal and you happen to like me enough to invest in it. And I appreciate that. Yeah, and
that's awesome.
I look at it as more of an abundance mindset because, 4 or 5 years from now, when that deal sells, if I happen to have another deal, I guarantee you he will invest with me again.
Yeah. That's actually, that's so great. I love that, Sean. Really great insights there. And just while we're on that topic, at Holdfolio, our fund of funds firm, we have this kind of built-in culture with one of our values, winning together, right? And so we had an investor who she's and the point I'm trying to make is that we're serving them and their needs. And if it's not a good fit for us, like for example, we don't do anything regarding 1031 exchanges. If folks are looking to transfer that into, we're not set up where we can serve that. So I've handed countless folks, who are, handed them off to other firms. But in our firm, we like to go over and beyond for our investors in different ways. Like one of our investors, she couldn't invest because she had COVID and she just couldn't get out of bed and look at our deal. So we took care of her and her family with dinner, and we found her address in our portal and just, hey, we're taking care of dinner for you. And so that definitely goes a long way. Just doing right by the investors and having that service mentality. So that's a really, really good point to make, Sean. Thanks for sharing.
Yep.
That's the white glove service, huh?
Oh yeah, that's the white glove service. Exactly. What I was going to say, one last point in regards to taking soft reservations and soft commitments is, there's so many opportunities that we ourselves don't consider. For example, we may have closed one deal and trying to find that second deal, right? And what we could do is leverage the activities that are happening in the first deal. Like, for example, if you're sending an update, that's another opportunity to place a call to action to have folks get into their portal and place a soft reservation on the next deal. Another thing is, you're walking through the property and you're sharing, kind of the renovations, and folks are seeing progress. They're seeing, man, this guy's this person's executing. I love this experience. Another opportunity for you to get that call to action. And so in every step, we're truly always trying to get folks to place reservations for future deals. And then same thing goes for asking for referrals, right? Hey, if you have any, folks in your network who could truly benefit from participating in these types of deal, please send them this link, right? Or get them a hold of get them in touch with our team. And as I mentioned, the entire goal, what we measure month after month, if we don't have a deal, is how many soft reservations do we have. So anyways, hopefully that was helpful, and hopefully that answered your question, Peyton, on when you should have something set up. Is if you're looking to raise a deal soon, I'd really recommend building yourself up that soft reservation, and the way to do that is through a portal. So
yep.
Did that address your question, brother?
Yeah, it did. Thank you.
Okay, awesome. Thanks.
One of the things I wanted to pitch you or tee you up for, TJ, is one of the reasons that we really, really like the Syndication Pro isn't just for the main host. We love that aspect, and we like how everything is integrated. But when we are co-sponsoring with other teams, they don't necessarily, we go ahead and pay for it. They have their link that they're using. Everything is synced up so that you're not ending up with some co-sponsors sometimes mistype information. Everything is uniform across all of your co-sponsors, which is amazing. And it's only by one click of a button. You sync it and then it's done. So that's one of the things that I really appreciate, because it saves me from having to get on co-sponsor meetings where I'm having to walk them through how to set up their portal.
That's awesome. So awesome. Thanks for the feedback there. So great.
So, well, I mean, that's a pretty good overview of the portal there. There's a lot of great little tips there, some golden nuggets on kind of how to keep the momentum going, even when you don't have a deal. We all know how hard it is to find great deals, especially in today's market. So staying in front of your investors and keeping them in your portal is always, good strategies around that are always helpful. So, are there any other questions before we kind of just open it all up for everyone? It looks like, hey, TJ, looks like you already got a book demo for later today. Look at
All
that.
right. Wonderful. Thanks, Adam. Looking forward to it. I really want to join that call as well. So you're probably going to meet with one of my product specialists, but I'll attend as well, just to have that proper introduction. So that's great. Looking forward to it.
Yeah. Any other questions while we have the man himself here?
I will say this. So Wes and I are privileged enough to be a part of the sponsor network as well. And so as that whole community is growing and you have other co-sponsors and you can pitch deals, Wes, you actually got to be on one of the deal pitches, didn't you? One of the webinars for a deal pitch?
Yeah, we did that last year when we were trying to help another team with their raise for a hospitality deal. Yeah, but it's grown quite a bit since then. And now that we've finally found our footing and we know exactly where we're going to be standing strong, which is self-storage development, we're taking two opportunities out of that, the land and entitlement syndication around that. And then we're doing the self-storage development phase as a completely different offering. But yeah, definitely want to tap into the sponsor network, grow the self-storage group in there. But there's a lot of great multifamily groups. I like how you have it segmented. I really do, where you can kind of jump into each one and be like, oh, cool, I can jump in the multifamily, the private equity, the hospitality, the self-storage. So definitely if you're a part of the Syndication Pro, I would say family already, get in. We'll post a link or something like that. We'll find a link and share it to the sponsor network so y'all can get signed up on that and connect with other co-sponsors. Let me ask TJ, if they are not a client of Syndication Pro, can they still join sponsor network?
Yes, they can. It's actually $2,500 annual subscription. However, if you are a customer, that will be included to join the network, right? And if they are not a Syndication Pro user, we also vet folks out to make sure that they're somewhat active. They have to be active, whether it's they've got liquidity and they're looking for GP, they're trying to find acquisitions. And so we just don't want anyone to join the network. We're really trying to contain it to GPs that are looking to do deals and access strategic partners, either from a deal flow perspective or capital markets perspective. We have a lot of firms just like Holdfolio in the network that are fund to funds. And we have, it's an easy way for you. I mean, we've actually had folks who have primarily historically been in multifamily, and they just wanted to pivot and include another investment type for them and their investors. And so within the sponsor network, you're able to quickly filter down who's who and what geo, and you're able to connect with them. And then once we have an event live, you can either come meet with them or, it's just a great place for you to network and get connected. And if you have a live deal, you can schedule it with our team and we'll promote it internally to the network, and people will register. And then we're doing a real big relaunch actually next week, Wes. So we've done this with the beta thus far just to get all the kinks out, but next week we're going to open it up to our over 2,000 users on our platform. So it'll be really big.
That's awesome.
I want to touch base with you on that and see, because I've got a few deals that we're going live on.
Let's get your deal. Let's get your deal live for sure. And just so you know, we're putting our money where our mouth is in terms of investing in this community. We have over $200,000 budgeted for events for the sponsor network that we are putting together, and our customers are coming in and benefiting off great lunches, great networking, great learning.
And those aren't just in one location. I don't know if you said that earlier, but you want to kind of throw out what the scheduled events that you already have in place?
Yeah. Yep. We just finished Lehigh, Utah. Spectacular event last week. The last quarter we did Dallas DFW. And then the next event in July, where we had it slated for Arizona, but honestly, I'm kind of scared of the heat, so we might adjust and do it in LA.
It's hot there. You might want to go Denver. You might want to go.
It's hot
Denver.
there too.
I was going to say LA, you'll just be stuck in traffic.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true. Maybe Newport Beach then, because we've got a lot of clients and customers there. But yeah, the idea is to just do a tour, and it's a predictable tour every year. And so that way, if you're a part of the network, you just come, network, build and potentially access partnerships and learn. that's the most important part is we are producing some incredible content on this integrated service piece where we have our fund admins specialist who's going to be he's had years and years of experience with the real estate development background, and so we just had him set up a $250 million fund. And I mentioned one other case study where this customer here in Utah just had the hardest time trying to find his core team to work together. And what he said is, so just a step back, he's creating a fund for pre-foreclosure acquisitions, and our team was actually able to guide him on how to set it up and do things like capital calls and distributions and how he was going to do the accounting part of that as well. And so for him, he said that was such an invaluable thing. But the focus of these contents when we're coming in is to answer questions on the legal side, the capital raising side on the portal side, as well as fund and accounting and tax. So you got the full gamut. So every time we're doing these tours, we're focusing on those things. And I think it's just really going to add a ton of value. So.
Yeah. Well, that's great. I'm excited about the next sponsor network that I get to go to, seeing the relaunch, getting active in that, because that's something as the market gets harder and you're always trying to do your stuff, and connecting with other active members is a must. The SEC is always cracking down. So the fact that y'all pre-vet, I want y'all to understand, they even vetted out me, knowing me. Okay. They were like, well, let me look at your deal. Let me look at everything. I mean, I still had to go through the vetting process. So it made me go, okay, cool. If they're doing this to me, already knowing me, then I know everyone in this group, in this network, has been vetted. And that's one of the things that the SEC is really starting to crack down on is, are you an experienced sponsor? Or are you just taking advantage of the fact that it's a Reg D and just a really good salesman. So TJ and their entire team and their wisdom, it's nice to have someone like that supporting you. This group that we're trying to do here with Military and Patriots, we are trying to help people scale up, whether you're green or very seasoned like O'Shawn here. It's great. That was not an age pun there, Sean. Okay. That was your experience in real estate. Okay. But yeah, I mean, it's important to have several networks to tap into. Yes, we do have that military and patriotic theme here, but TJ and them, they've got a wide range, and I've been on those sponsor networks and heard some other webinars there. It is very truly a wide range, from people from as far west as California to far east as New York and everywhere in between. And there's still a lot of great groups out of that. So if you're looking to find your people, here's two options right here. You've got our group that you can tap into, and then you can also tap into the sponsor network to even stretch even further than that. So here's some opportunities. Don't let them go unused, especially if you're looking for, where do I start? Where is step one for me? Learning from other active players is a very good starting point. Whether you've got money, like Sean and a few others here have mentioned, whether you've got money to pay for a mentor or you've just got enough to be in the right rooms, I would say this: be in those right rooms, because that's how I got my start. I never could afford, one of these coaching programs. I just put myself in these right rooms around TJ, around Sean, around, a lot of other big names, and finally just figured it out from learning with partnerships. So TJ, awesome. I appreciate you coming on here and sharing everything that you've got going on and what you've built up, and still not done, right? You still got more to come.
Yeah. Yeah. And, I appreciate you allowing me to be here. I just wanted to let you all know, I hope it wasn't like such a, sales pitch fest on my end. Really, if you were to just, I wanted for you to be aware of what's out there. And my email is tj@sponsorcloud.io. If you have any questions regarding technology or how to operate your business using some tech that's available that we offer, please feel free to reach out to me. And I'm personally happy to invest my time and just getting you, connected. Because, I mean, we serve over 1,000 firms today, but we're not this huge Google company, right? We're very personalized company, and just look at me as your technology partner on scaling your business. So please utilize me as a resource. I'd love to add value any way I can.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, TJ, definitely thank you for showing up, and no, I did not feel like it was a sales pitch the entire
Okay.
time. I mean, I am happy that there are more people out there making it easier for what Russell Gray of the Real Estate Radio guys refers to as defunding Wall Street.
Yes, I love Russell. He and I were in Belize a couple years ago. He's amazing.
That was my shirt that I had on. It was Wall Street Rebel.
Yes, love it.
Yeah,
that's great.
Yeah,
Thank
so
you so much.
anybody that's helping the cause, I'm all for them.
That's great. Love it. Thank you again, Wes, and thank you again, Sarah. This has been great. Appreciate it, everyone who's in the military. God bless America.
there we go.
You, TJ,
All right,
that's
everyone. Y'all have a great weekend. I hope you enjoy the rest of your days. If you have any other questions, this will be in our group. If you're watching us from our group, you can still comment on this, and we'll come back and I'll try to get TJ joining our group so that if any of them are tailored to him, I can answer the best I can, but then I can always do you the best justice by just linking you up to him and his team. So we dropped a link. If anyone else wants to sign up for a call or a demo, you can do that. If you don't want to look for that link, go to militarypatriotsgroup.com and you can click on our team. Scroll to the bottom, you'll see strategic partnerships. You'll see the Sponsor Cloud logo. That is a clickable link. You can click right there, and that'll take you right to how to schedule a call with them. So multiple accesses to TJ and his team, even if you're just wanting to check it out and get some questions answered. Great there. So feel free to comment on this. And let's see everyone doing some deals this year. So love to partner with new people, and let's build it up. Let's make 2023 a better year. So let's do that.
Awesome.
There's deals coming in the last half of the year. Get ready.
Yeah, here we go. Yeah. So, all right. Thanks, everyone. Y'all have a good day.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Wesley, you got time to stay on, or do you